mean, LRH has given us study technology, he's giving us a data series, he's giving us a PTSS tech. We have the ability to improve conditions, to see the realities, to be able to fight and have the courage to be able to crush these guys.
Specifically, psychiatric drugs at the core of all education failures, and which were wreaking violence across American schoolyards. Spelling out the links, he dropped letters in the laps of the 100 most powerful people in media and education, and then again, right to the top.
We were able to work with the Food and Drug Administration and talk to them a little bit about this and raise some questions. And sure enough, about 3 or 4 months later, the cover of Time magazine, are we drugging our kids too much? And yes, of course, we are, and we have to do something about it.
And that started an avalanche, with legislation in states across the U.S., an outright ban in the U.K., and the FDA finally mandating black warning labels on psychopharmaceuticals. But when it comes to whole track suppression, Mr. Cruise doesn't only hit them at the flanks.
Not only has Tom Cruise personally toured more people through CCHR than anyone I've ever known or seen, but he also has gotten people that he knows to do the same thing.
Tom is more involved in CCHR than any other Scientologist that I've come across in my 27 years.
Oh, I'm going hard at those guys. I'm going to end their reign. You know, these psychiatrists, I've had it. Absolutely had it. It's disgusting to me.
We actually have an easier time getting people off heroin than methadone or these psychiatric drugs, and I've worked very diligently to educate people about this.
How they can justify it and how it suddenly becomes this reality of it's okay, you know, because other people can't confront it.
Psychiatry doesn't work. You look at the things that psychiatry has brought to society. We now are living in a time where we spend over $700 billion a year on education, psych-driven, and where are we?
Okay, you know what? Go to guns. I've just had it. Absolutely had it.
You know, they can't call it disease, because if they did call it disease, they would have to prove, you know, medically what these things are. You know, this whole thing about chemical imbalance, well, they can't prove any of that.
No mercy. None.
Then there's the backstage briefings to reporters in the afterglow of set lights.
The CCHR on the website, I'm telling you, when you study the history of psychiatry and the effects and who these guys are, it's crimes against humanity.
At which point, at least 50 million more were reading why Tom Cruise wants psychiatry outlawed.
I remember I was doing an interview with someone, a young lady, and she said, so, I really want to understand who you are. And I said, okay. I said, well, I'm a Scientologist. And she goes, yes, no, but I want to understand who you are. I said, no. You better read about, go read about what Scientology is. And she said, well, no, but I want to know who you are. I said, no, I'm a Scientologist.
And he makes it known between everything else for which he's known as the biggest movie star ever. Night after night, city by city, through 18 and 20-hour days, Tom Cruise travels this world, meeting with ministers, ambassadors, and the American State Department, advancing LRH technology straight into the corridors of power. His presence alone opens the door for expansion. From the 10,000-strong crowds drawn by his presence and welcoming our new church, to the land of intolerance where he entered a Berlin mayor's palace to take the very symbol of that city, everyone knows when Tom Cruise touches down.
Tools that people can apply to their lives to make them better. It's about improving conditions. It allows you to find out for yourself. There's things that we can do to help you not be a criminal, get you off drugs, a way to happiness, clear body, clear mind. Study technology, Criminon program. It doesn't matter what religion you are, these things work.
And he's been doing it for years.
I've been a Scientologist for 14, 16, almost 20 years.
And if they should so much as raise an eyebrow, he throws down the gauntlet.
These are people's reaction. No, I think maybe people say that to you. They don't say that to me. Oh.
And given all else he's carved out across this world, you'd have to live in a cave not to have heard about it. Tom Cruise isn't just at the cutting edge of Scientology as a cultural trend, he's the blade. and it registers on every cultural barometer. For at least 2 decades, he's defined what's hip. And as of summer 2004, what's hip is Scientology. And if some people don't like it, well, and the numbers he reaches are astonishing. Across 90 nations, 5,000 people hear his word of Scientology every hour. Moreover, every minute of every hour, someone reaches for LRH technology or steps onto the bridge simply because they know Tom Cruise is a Scientologist. And combined with all else he contributes, he has recast the future for whole generations.